Hello, my name is Brian Fields. The interpersonal relationship that I chose for my relationship analysis is with my wife Danielle. I have known Danielle for about 6 years, with about 4 of those years being married. Um, we met on a dating website called Match.com. I'm sure many people know what that is, and probably should be on one of those success commercials. And we went on dates just like any other couple. We went dinners, movies. We went to bars. We went to clubs. We went to concerts. We went to different sporting events. Um, we eventually settled down and got married, and we now live in a house and have a 1.5-year-old daughter named Landon. So, with the different roles that we have, Danielle is a mother, a salon owner, a nurturer, and the breadwinner in our family. This is probably due to the fact that Danielle's been in her career ever since she graduated high school and worked through several different salons and eventually ventured out on her own under the umbrella of Salon Lofts. I am a father. I'm the handyman kind of around the house, and I provide the needed health and life insurance for my family. This is more or less due to the fact that I now work for a insurance company in Cincinnati called Western Southern, and just recently passed my 2-year work anniversary. Um, Danielle is the rock of our family in that she makes a lot of the decisions. This is due to the fact that I don't care very much either way on whether certain decisions. I more or less worry about whether she's happy, because if she's happy, it pretty much makes me happy. But if there is something that I have a very big opinion on, I will usually voice that opinion, and we work together on it. So basically, with the both of us, I feel like we make a pretty good team and we have a pretty good balance. In the growth stage, me and my wife are somewhere in the affection exchange, but I'm kind of hoping we're leaning towards eventually getting into the stable exchange. In the affection exchange, there are no barriers of communication, and in the stable exchange, both partners are granted access to all information on all topics. With me and Danielle, we talk about our issues and fights, and we are pretty open and honest to each other, almost to a fault. So an example of this would be early on in our daughter's life, when we brought her home. I probably didn't take the baby responsibilities as important as I probably should have, and Danielle basically almost threatened me leaving if I didn't start helping out with the baby duties and household chores. This is due to her being stressed and her not being able to sleep, and I wasn't taking everything into consideration and helping her in the best way possible. So the first theory that I talked about in my relationship analysis is the social exchange theory. So this is the theory that basically means that there are rewards and costs to all our decisions while maximizing rewards and minimizing costs. So when thinking of this theory, I think of things like I do around the house and baby duties I help out with, which have both costs and rewards. So example of this would be like doing the dishes, giving my daughter a bath, taking out the trash, or taking a dog out for a walk. All these have costs, and such as like not being able to keep up with our TV shows that we like to watch. I'm a big sports fan, so having to not watch the sports programming I love to watch. And then sometimes, honestly, my schoolwork takes a back seat to some of the added responsibilities, and I've had to learn how to handle and juggle those responsibilities with my schoolwork. But all these have rewards because this keeps my wife from being stressed, and it helps around the house and basically keeps her happy, which entails me being happy as well. The second theory that I talked about in my relationship analysis is the attachment theory. So this theory is in relation to communication, plays 4 roles in the attachment process. The first role is that communication is the cause of the attachment style. The second role is the communication is a consequence of the attachment style. And the third role being that communication is a mediator of attachment and relationship quality. And then the fourth is communication as a reinforcement of the attachment style. So going back to my analysis, I talked about how my wife came from a family who has a greater tendency to be negative to and in front of each other. I feel like this has led her to have feelings that are negative about herself and her career at times. Examples of this would be like in her career, she thinks that she is supposed to have, she has a goal of 80 appointments per month that she wants to hit. And early on, she would kind of question herself about how many appointments she was getting, but she'd be comparing herself to the other women in that building who had been working for 2 to 3 times the amount that experience that they have in comparison to her. So I would have to be positive to her and kind of, logically tell her that, can't compare yourself to other people like that. So the third theory that I talked about in my relationship analysis is the affection exchange theory. So this is a communication theory that explains why human beings communicate direction to each other and with what consequences. So when thinking of this, I think back to my courtship of my wife. So we showed affection just like any other couples, kisses, hugs, etc. And we all know what everything else is. But this theory also believes that the affection is pertinent to procreation and relationship maintenance. So this is true in my relationship because affection has kept my relationship relatively happy. And obviously we have procreated with the birth of our daughter Landon. In the end, I think these concepts have kept my relationship happy by understanding the rewards and cost of just about everything we do. Learning how to be positive when my wife has negative thoughts about herself or her work. That affection is key to every relationship, and remembering the rewards and costs of just everything that we do. I also believe that an added thing is I feel like I'm an effective enough communicator, and with that, I think we have a pretty good relationship. I feel like we have a pretty good ebb and flow, and that we make a pretty good team together.